Before this video begins, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload.
I would like to thank EasyDog for sponsoring today's video. EasyDog produces the Drive car harness for dogs. This harness is crash safety tested and padded for the comfort of your pet. Harnesses are also size adjustable and work for many dog breeds. EasyDog additionally makes separate leashes and life jackets to keep your dog ready for adventure. Make sure to check them out at the link in the video description below.
Alrighty, let's get into the review. Hello and welcome! Today we are reviewing a 2024 Ford Mustang GT Premium. This is an automatic model with the 10-speed transmission, and it does come with the 401A package. I would like to thank Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett, Rhode Island for allowing me to both review and test drive this vehicle. I'll be taking this for a ride pretty soon over here, so make sure to check out that video coming out soon on the channel. Alrighty, so this is a brand new 2024 Ford Mustang out of the 6th generation. This is finished in white with a red and black leather interior. This Mustang is a two-door coupe with seating for 4. The new Mustang GT Premium comes with a curb weight of around 3,760 pounds. This comes with the 4th generation, naturally aspirated 5-liter V8 Coyote engine, and that also comes with the performance exhaust. So in here we make 486 horsepower and 418 pound-feet of torque. This compares to the 450 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque from the previous generation Coyote engine. This is once again mated with the 10-speed shiftable automatic and has a Ford-claimed 0 to 60 time in the low 4-second range. This Mustang is of course a rear-wheel drive model, achieving 15, 24, and 19 mpg combined out of a 16-gallon fuel tank. It rides on 19-inch alloy wheels all around, with 255 wide tires in the front and 275 in the rear. You also get ventilated disc brakes for all 4 wheels. And additionally, you get some optional red Brembo brake covers in here, and those look great under the multi-spoke chrome wheels. As for safety features in this Mustang GT, you get blind spot monitoring, lane departure alert with lane keep assist, rear cross traffic alert, and auto high beams. And additionally, thanks to the 401A package, you do get emergency front braking. So, this 7th gen S650 Ford Mustang is the last of the American muscle cars. Dodge killed their Challenger and Charger with the V8 engines in 2023, and Chevrolet killed the Camaro entirely. The Dodge Charger is planning to return with an electric option and an inline-6 engine, but Ford stays true to heritage with a manual V8 car for at least a few more years. And let's take a quick moment of silence for the American muscle cars. And I will fill a little bit of that silence with some slight revs from this 5-liter Coyote Mustang V8. Thank you very much. God bless the V8. Alright, so this new pony car measures in at 189.4 inches long, 75.4 inches wide without the mirrors, and is 55 inches tall. This rides on strut suspension up front with multi-link in the rear. On the side, you do get heated mirrors, and both in the front and the rear, you get LED lights. And you do still retain the sequential turn signal, so it'll blink in 3 movements for the rear, which is pretty cool. You do get an LSD, or limited slip differential, with this spec, and you have a 3.55 axle ratio with a 3.15 limited slip rear axle. In the rear, you get dual stainless steel exhaust with chrome tips, and above that, you get 13.3 cubic feet of storage in the trunk. The $2,900 401A GT Premium High package gives you a 12-speaker B&O audio system, and with a trunk subwoofer added in. It gives you also some accent stitching throughout the interior, leather-wrapped knee bolsters, a premium leather steering wheel, and an auto emergency braking assist. It also has some smaller options along with it, but I'm not going to list those. Separately, not a part of this package, the Mustang can be had, and is in here, with a Wi-Fi hotspot, which is a nice touch. And another cool thing you've probably heard about is something called remote rev. So if you do a certain setup on the key fob, you can actually rev it remotely, which is really cool for, say, car shows and just flexing on your friends, quite honestly. That would be a really cool thing to do, and show off the great sound of this, of course, 5-liter Coyote V8, arguably, as it continues to shrink in the market too, one of the greatest sounding V8s currently available. Alrighty, let's have a step outside. Alright, so on the exterior of this brand new Ford Mustang 2024, it's more of a, like what everyone has been saying, it's more of a evolution rather than a revolution for the redesign. They kept a lot of the similar looks from the S550, previous generation, but they gave it some more angular and minimalist at the same time design. So it's a weird mix right there, because up here you get, I believe, functional hood vent right here. Then for the grille here, it's pretty similar to the other one, but it does have two slats right here, so it creates kind of like a bull-nosed type effect. I think it looks pretty good. And then down on the sides here, surprisingly, are going to be fake vents, which is really odd to me. But, I mean, it has good enough performance. I guess they didn't need the extra cooling. Then over here for your LED lights, they look a bit more aggressive than the previous generation. They have a nice 3 spots, and I think they look really good. Then over here on your side profile, it's just a little more chiseled. It's not really too many sharp, crazy angles on here. This is in the color white. You're not going to see as harsh of a change right there. But then all around, you get your 19-inch wheels right here. Those are going to be a bit of a darker chrome. I think they look good. And these Brembo brake calipers and I believe pads are going to be optional, but they have it here, and I think it looks pretty good. Right here, you get a nice 5.0 badge for, of course, that great Coyote sounding engine. Then here for your side profile, it retains, of course, a classic fastback design, and it just, everything looks a little more chiseled. It looks minimal on this, minimalist on the design of this new Mustang, a little bit more compared to the previous gen, but once again, I don't think it's a bad thing. Then over here, for your easy open fuel tank, because it's a Ford, easy fuel, nice right there. Then in the back here, you get to hear that beast rumble, of course. Here is actually a performance exhaust, so they don't all have this. This, I believe, also comes with the active exhaust, so you can adjust the sound right there. Over here, you get a GT badge right in the center. I think this is a better choice than what they used to do, which was a black bar here, but it also used to be a black logo, so you couldn't even tell it was a GT until you got very close. I'll admit, it looks a little plain back here, in my opinion. It's nothing bad. It's really an interesting shape what they did too. They took like a V notch out of everything, as you can see, looking straight down this way. Nothing bad. And then a spoiler. But I don't know, I could maybe see a little bit more in the center being useful. I like the GT being more exposed like that, but maybe a little bit more design in the center. But I think it looks okay. And then over here you get a simple body line, and then of course your fastback design, your trunk back there. And once again, looking at the side of this, of course you can get a sunroof. This is not optioned with this one in particular. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good as a evolutionary design change, and yeah, pretty good overall. And then just once more from the front over here, it looks a little more intimidating. It does look more aggressive. From the front, definitely, you can tell this apart. That's where the most change is apparent, and of course the rear lights. But from the side, it's not all that easy to tell from the previous one. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. And taking a look inside here, here's going to be your door. That beautiful Ford chime. This is why you buy a Ford. I love it. I would fall asleep to this. I may or may not have on occasion. We don't talk about that. But yeah, I like the Ford chime. So over here on your door, here you get a little splash of chrome. It's very similar to the last generation, but it's some simulated carbon fiber in here. You do get a 12-speaker audio system, so you get some little spots for that. And yeah, fit and finish is pretty decent. It's a Mustang. It's not going to be top class or anything like that, but it's all tight, well put together so far. And it does have some additional accent stitching due to one of the packages, which is nice. And then you do get a little door sill that is illuminated saying Mustang, so that is cool. And to the left of your steering wheel over here, you don't get too much, you just get some light controls in here. For your steering wheel, it's a very new steering wheel. It's a nice flat bottom one, but it's very like a sharp. It's like a racing wheel, really. It's nice. It has a nice sharp cut over here on the surround of it, and pretty nice bolsters. You can definitely drive with your thumbs way out like that. You're not going to fall off. Typically, it's going to be very well and like curved inward, so you can hold it comfortably like that. You get some shifter paddles on the back. I don't know if I like these because it has a like a set of lines that run on the back of them instead of like a crossed texture. I think it feels kind of cheap and clicky. That's just me, but I don't really love their choice of that material. For the wheel itself, though, it's very squared off, very aggressive. It looks kind of like a Bronco wheel in the center with this new piece, but it's pretty good. And then, of course, the elephant in the room, in terms of a screen right now, is this is all digital now. It had a partial digital gauge, but it had still a pretty standard radial layout, stuff like that. But what Ford did is they made a gigantic screen for this. I think it works okay. I just wonder about future proofing. I wonder if it could have the risk like Toyota did and some Hondas, where it kind of just looks like they stuck an iPad up there that if you like go like this, it would snap. This is not fragile like that, but it kind of looks that way, at least upon initial impressions, or to purists. I don't know if they're going to love a giant screen for years to come, as design may or may not change in cars that they don't have stuff sticking up. Maybe they integrate it a bit more into designs, and they removed like the double riser, which was a standard of Mustangs since I believe the first generation, at least in the 60s. But it's not bad. It's very bright. I'm in bright sunlight here. I have sunglasses on, but it is very easy to see this, so there's no challenge there. It's a bit glossy, understandably, though. I know you wouldn't want a matte screen running across this, but in some certain sunlight situations and wearing bright colors and stuff like that, it does get a little tougher to see, but it's manageable so far. It's bright enough to cut through it. Then below that, you do get some pretty low-mounted climate controls, but they're placed well enough. I have them at my face, and they work well. And then below that, you get a red stop-start button, which is nice, some more simulated carbon fiber, and a hard volume and power button, which I love because, as Honda has learned, people desperately don't like just tapping a screen for all their controls. In this Sync 4 system here, however, to some people's disappointment, you have a ton in this screen. So now you have your climate controls are up here. Both the fan speed and the temperature are completely slide. And your heated and cooled seats in here, so these are pretty good. But they're okay. The thigh bolsters are a little wide for me. But the rest of it is pretty okay. It does stick with two-way lumbar, though. I don't really know why Ford keeps doing that. I've seen $50,000 or $60,000 plus Fords like this, and they keep two-way lumbar in almost all their vehicles. I wish they had four-way. Like, it's not that hard. A lot of brands do it in pretty low-end cars, so that's a gripe I have with this. But nothing new to this. And but yeah, back to the infotainment. I think it works well, but I'm tech-savvy. I don't exactly know if older Mustang collectors or purists are going to love having all these controls in here. I usually like a mix of the two. I'm not all buttons, but I prefer at least either a doubling of buttons or a good majority being button-wise. So we'll see how that goes. But down below, you do get your normal stuff, auto stop-start control. You got your Mustang button, so in here you can hit this momentarily. Yeah, you hit that. This does not have the active exhaust, I don't believe, but because that would actually be right here for the modes, but it sounds very good, as you heard in the startup. But you still have a lot of good stuff. You have track apps. You can time your acceleration, your brake performance. Don't only do that on the track. Please don't go excessively fast on the main roads. And then auxiliary gauges. You have some pretty nice looking stuff, kind of like the Dodge Challenger of late. Performance pages, they looked really good like that, and it seems like Ford is doing a little bit of that as well. And you keep the My Color thing, which they've had since roughly like 2008 or 9 in the Mustang, so you can customize all your gauge colors across digital. And some of your LEDs, you do have like RGB red, green, blue lighting in some of here, so you can also customize what your lighting surrounds are like at night. So that's pretty cool. And I believe those also may impact right here, not sure on that. Then over here you get USB Type-C, Type-A, and of course your normal 12 volt. You do get a little phone port here. I don't see a wireless charger. I'm not sure if higher trims have that or not, but if so, it might be up over there. Here's your shifter, pretty similar to the last gen, 10-speed automatic one, but I like this shifter. I don't know, some people don't, but I may drive a manual at some point in the future here too. But yeah, I think it works fine. Then for your reverse camera here, it has, of course, the moving lines, and yeah, very clear, pretty dang good quality in my opinion, compared to a lot of cars, so that's good. And then below that here, since it's not a manual, you don't get that like half and half manual parking brake type thing. That was like a boost brake or something they call it. I'll discuss it at some point in the manual. But here you get just electronic parking brake. It's an automatic. It's what you're going to get these days. I don't like them, but whatever. It's expected. For your fit and finish here, it's actually pretty good. It has accent stitching, and this is part of the package. All the way down here is going to be padded and stitched with a pretty decent, like not padded right here, but down here it is a little padded for your knee bolster, they call it. And yeah, very nice single piece of material, so it's not matte or glossy plastic, both of which I don't like everywhere in the center here, so I think it looks pretty good. And more upscale than the previous generation for sure. Then you get two pretty large cup holders. And over here you can open this either side right here for your center little console. Not bad. And then for your glove box, same as usual. It's a pretty good size actually, so that's good. I think the previous Mustang also had a large one, so that's good. Still a good bit of room. And let's do a quick little visor test here. And it doesn't really cover more than like 65-70% of your window. It's to be expected. You can't have a gigantic sliding visor, but I'll bet they could have done it. So it doesn't exactly pass the visor test, but it's acceptable. You get a pretty nice frameless mirror. Visibility in here is not too bad, surprisingly. You do get blind spot monitoring, of course, and now lane departure alert with lane keep assist. In this spec, you do get automatic emergency braking, so it's pretty good. And then in the back seat over here, I'm not going to go into it too much. They're mostly only capable of carrying kids. Adults for any prolonged amount of time, probably not the best idea. They're not going to fit. I'm not even going to try climbing back there because I'm 6 feet tall and I have long legs, so I may actually get stuck. I'm not going to try, but that's an exaggeration, but it's not going to be graceful. But if you needed to, you can pull the seats down like normal from the side over there. It would flop forward, and you can do that. And let's just discuss my final thoughts on this 2024 Ford Mustang GT Premium with the 401A package. I at about $55,000 right now for the MSRP here. I think it's a pretty good value because they updated the interior, the exterior, whether you like it or not, it is cleaned up a little bit per a lot of people. So, they changed and improved upon some of the design. You get the new 4th gen Coyote. I'll drive it shortly, but has a little more power, so that is good. And as for the giant center console, that's kind of up to you. Center screen, sorry. I'm not against it. I'm tech savvy though, so I don't think it's very frustrating to use, but I can see some people not preferring this and wishing it had at least a mix of some more buttons, so I could definitely see that turning away some people. And even the design, just of a long screen, it's minimal. It's not bad, but it might turn some people away. However, this thing still sounds good as ever, and it's just modernized. They made it a lot more performance-oriented, at least on the interior. In this package in particular, it looks really, really nice with all the fit and finish, some added carbon fiber, and right through here is a lot more premium feeling than the past with this nicer soft leather type material. I like that. And overall, I think it is pretty good, honestly, for the money, what you're getting. If you get a roughly 4 second 0 to 60, you can get it in a manual still with a V8, which is amazing, and probably 5-7 more years of that, and we'll see what the mid-cycle refresh is if they do one on this. But yeah, this is America's muscle car that lives on with the traditional V8 and manual option. So yeah, I'm excited to drive it, and we will do that shortly. But that's going to about wrap it up for this review. Thank you again to Flood Ford Lincoln in Narragansett, Rhode Island, for allowing me to review and test drive this Mustang. Up next, I will be taking this for a test drive and a 0 to 60, so I will hope to see you in that next video, coming out soon on the channel. As always, drive with passion. Thank you very much for watching, and take care.